So it's been a while. I've been having a difficult time over the last few months. I've mentioned dealing with depression before on my channel, and also I was leading up to the end of my master's degree, where I had to complete my final project, and it kind of all became a bit too much for me, so that ended up meaning that I've kind of extended my degree so I can finish it properly. Because of the issues I was having, I had to take a break from YouTube, and I kept thinking, oh, I need to make a channel update and just tell people I need to go away for a while, but I never did. So I do appreciate those of you that have stayed on as subscribers, and I've seen that there's a few more as well. But anyway, I've extended my degree so I can finish it. You know, I have extra few months. I just didn't want to. It felt like I was going to crash and burn and ruin everything. So I've taken that time out, and I feel kind of more recuperated and more able to handle the coming few months. So today I'm going to watch the first episode of Band of Brothers. It was recommended to me for my Premiere Pioneer series, where I watched the first episode of various TV series that my audience recommend to me in the comments. So if you want to recommend one, please just post it down below and I'll add it onto my list, and then I'll put it in a little box and it might get picked out. I said to a subscriber that I could have a drinking game, but unfortunately I don't have any wine, and there's no mixer for the gin that I've got, and the kind of the concept of the game would be me to drink every time I recognise an actor in this show. But this is my first time back after a while, so maybe I shouldn't get piss drunk on my first time. So anyway, let's go. I don't think I'm prepared for this, am I? '44, so this is near the end of the war, really. I like how naturalistically it's filmed. That was really... It was like those actors really didn't... They weren't acting. Richard Speight Jr. Damien Lewis. Is that Michael Fassbender? People seem morose, which is to be expected. Damien Lewis was so handsome when he was young. That guy from Friends.
I wouldn't take this rusty piece of shit to war, and I will not take you to war in your condition. Now, thanks to these men and their infractions, every man in the company who had a weekend pass has lost it.
Ooh, intense. I don't really have any experience with the army or soldiers. And there is this kind of trope of the hard-ass boss, like, you know, picking on such minor things. But then I suppose when it comes to weapons and general discipline, you need to be a stickler when it comes to war.
Lieutenant Winters! Yes, sir. Was this man ordered to not drink from his canteen during the Friday night march? He was, sir. Private Christensen, you have disobeyed a direct order. You will fill your canteen and repeat all 12 miles of the march immediately. Yes, sir. Fall out!
Damn, that's harsh.
I want the names of 6 men. Their infractions and your disciplinary recommendations on my desk by 0130. Is that clear?
What infractions, sir?
Find some.
Okay, so see, this is my thing, because I'm not familiar with the army. I don't know whether I should admire the guy from Friends' orders, but maybe not.
Congratulations, Captain Sobel.
Thank you, sir.
Isn't that Lieutenant Winters leading Easy Company in PT?
Yes, sir.
He's a damn good man. I was planning on giving him a set of these today. Why don't you do it? He'd be proud to get them from you.
Why do I feel like I can't trust him to do it?
Lieutenant Nixon thinks this is a can of peaches. That is incorrect,
Simon Pegg?
Lieutenant. Your weekend pass is cancelled.
Lieutenant Winters?
See, the company's clearly like doing well, but this guy's clearly over the top. But
Cinque has seen fit to promote you. As first lieutenant, you'll serve as my executive officer. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
And as a test of your organizational skills and command potential, I am designating you mess officer for 14 days. Report to the mess kitchen at 05:15 hours. Company breakfast to be served at 0600. I think a special meal before their afternoon off would be a welcome change of pace. Would you agree?
Yes, sir.
I like spaghetti.
why does that feel like a trick? Or is it just meant to humiliate Winters?
Lectures are canceled. Easy Company is running up Curry. Move! Move!
I hate
3
him.
miles up, 3 miles down.
Look,
Hi-yo, Silver!
dickhead. Oh, fuck.
Watch out, Private Hoobler! You should hike up those ears and go home! Looks like Gordon, son! Aren't you, Gordon? You finished?
Yeah, he's like one of them dicks that like take delight in other people,
There's an ambulance waiting
in
for you
lording
at the
over
bottom of the
people
hill.
and
It's all
people
be
being in
over
pain.
right now. No more pain. No more currying. No more Captain Sobel.
I'm sure there are a lot of people like him that thrive in war. Look at him. He's a Liverpudlian actor whose name I can't remember. He played Combo in This Is England. He was in Boardwalk Empire. Strange to see him looking so vulnerable. How did they film this? Beautiful shot. He's in Fringe.
Captain, you've just been killed, along with 95% of your company. Your outfit?
Easy Company, 2nd Battalion, 506.
Leave 3 wounded men on the ground and report back to the assembly area.
I don't feel like his men respect him, but they do respect Winters.
So, he gets a little jumpy in the field.
He gets jumpy and then you get killed.
That's nice.
Yeah, listen, if we discuss it, I think it should just be amongst
Oh,
ourselves.
absolutely.
Jumpy? Who said Jumpy?
2nd Platoon ready?
Ready, sir.
Why is Damien Lewis so innately
Then get them information, we're moving out.
likeable?
Yes, sir.
He's kind of so heroic already.
Since when do I drink?
If I thought you'd drink it, I wouldn't offer it to you.
Thanks.
And I had a case of Bat 69 hidden in your foot locker.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
This friendship is really sweet and likeable, and that makes me feel like my heart's going to be broken. Marc Warren. I feel like there must have been quite a lot of tactics and strategy and stuff, but also I feel like, I imagine ultimately a lot of the time it's just kind of pure, unbridled, horrific chaos. So this seems just so stressful looking at training.
Get him. Take cover behind those trees.
I'm starting to feel sorry for him now.
Who said that? Who broke silence?
I think it's Major Horton, sir.
Let's keep trying to hold in his laughter.
Major, what is he? Did he join us?
I think maybe he's moving between the platoons, sir?
What is the goddamn hold up, Mr. Sobel? A fence! Sir, a barbed wire fence!
Oh, that dog just ain't gonna hunt.
Now, you cut that fence and get this goddamn platoon on the move! Yes, sir!
Oh.
My goddamn wire cutters.
What? See ya.
Who was the idiot who cut that man's fence?
I was ordered to, sir.
By who?
Major Horton, sir.
Major Horton.
Yes, sir.
Major Horton told you to do that.
Yes, sir.
Major Horton ordered you to cut the fence.
Yes, he did.
Major Horton is on leave in London.
They've done a really good job of making me hate him and then feel bad for him. Because ultimately, he's in, like, a massive position of responsibility. And even if he did kind of take delight in being a bit of a dick, like, he's still headed into the horrors of war.
Punishment for your offenses will be denial of a 48-hour pass for 60 days. Stand before me at attention. Or you may initiate a letter of appeal and request a trial by court-martial.
Okay, he's back on my shit list.
You spend your weekends on the base anyway, Dick. Be a man, take the punishment.
May I borrow your pen, sir? My endorsement, sir. I request trial by court-martial.
This is your fault. Is that Coca-Cola? Didn't the company send it to the troops? Kind of cool detail.
Frankly, I can't think of anyone more qualified to command such a school than you are.
Sir?
So does that mean that he'd be teaching and not fighting?
I'm reassigning you to children foliage.
I'm losing easy company?
War effort needs you elsewhere.
Permission to speak, sir.
Granted.
His face is making me upset. Oh man.
Who will be replacing me?
Lieutenant Meehan from Baker Company is senior. Good luck at children foliage, heard it. Don't let us down now.
I don't like Friends. I don't watch Friends, but I just assumed that that's all that that actor can do. But he's impressed me in this episode. He's kind of the fact that I'm flitting between hating him and feeling sorry for him, and says something, doesn't it?
Hey, mate! You're having a bath with the finger half-inching that.
Half-inching, pinching,
Yeah, sorry. Good luck.
having a bath,
See you soon, mate.
laugh.
So, it's Normandy.
Saint-Marie-du-Mont, causeway number 1, causeway number 2. The ultimate field.
God, the way it's filmed, to have them looking right at you is kind of disturbing. It's like heroic and it's tragic and it's kind of darkly comic. Oh, so beautifully shot. Like, the music is straight up giving you kind of, you know, like, pride and heroicism, and but then what we're seeing is just kind of dread. when they were practicing before, I didn't even think about the fact that people would be doing it at night. God. I feel I can already tell why this show is so beloved. It did kind of a really good job at making you root for this particular platoon, this company. I think Winters, so far, I think Damien Lewis is doing a really good job at making him an interesting and likeable character, as, you know, he's kind of so stoic and so good that on, you know, with another actor that could have been incredibly boring, but actually, I don't know, there's something about him. Maybe it's just because we've seen him, you know, display qualities, you know, fairness, and the fact that his men look up to him and respect him, that makes us do the same as the viewer. The cast of the show is insane, you know. I think I remember seeing a Damien Lewis interview a while back, and he was talking about being flown out to America to have an interview for Band of Brothers, like an audition interview, like a job interview. Well, I guess it's the same thing, but like for an audition for Band of Brothers, and then, you know, of course, I imagine they filmed a portion of it in England at least. Clearly, they've used a lot of British actors. It seems like the kind of equivalent of The Bill in the UK, or, you know, Neighbours in Australia, where it's like a kind of rite of passage for young actors. There's so many that I couldn't remember the name of. Ugh, it's so frustrating, but I'm going to be looking at IMDb after this. The whole concept of this series that I've done is the kind of the premiere pioneer thing, is that I'll watch the first episode, and that means that lots of people can get to see me react to their favourite shows without me having to commit to the whole series. But this is the second time I've done it, and yet again I just want to react to the whole series. I imagine it's quite short as well. I feel like I remember one of my subscribers telling me that it's 10 episodes maybe, so I guess I'll put it on my list. I certainly want to see, I feel like this episode is me gaining an appreciation for the characters, and then the future episodes is just going to be me being heartbroken and fearful for the characters and for the situation. You know, sometimes you watch shows that you're told are great and they don't quite live up, especially when they've been made a long time ago. So I believe this was made in 2001, so that's, you know, 16 years ago, which is a lot in TV terms, but I feel like this one does live up to it. I really enjoyed watching Winters, and I really enjoyed seeing this group of people, and I do want to see them navigate the way through future episodes. I'm gonna have to watch it, aren't I? Shit. Some incredible cinematography going on there, and that's not surprising considering the names involved in the making of this show. Okay, so I hope that you're glad to see me back, and I hope that you enjoyed that reaction. There may be more, we'll see. And please like, comment, subscribe, and before you go, I'm going to pick the next Premiere Pioneer reaction that I'll do. So these are all pieces of paper that I've written down your recommendations on, that you've left in the comments on any of these videos, any of my videos really. I'll write them down, so we'll see what's next. Okay, let's go for this one. Attack on Titan. Okay, so I'm not familiar with any anime really. I watched a bit of Hellsing like a decade ago. I like Death Note, but I've not watched the series.